What's up, everybody? It's the first edition of the Blavk Audacity, where this black guy has the audacity to travel overseas to interview the latest influencers, artists, models, fashion designers, pretty much interview anyone who gets shit done in the industry. Today, help me welcome my friend and my special guest, Randy.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our space.
Yes, welcome to our sanctuary.
It is.
Definitely.
It is.
And we should have got some candles, get the vibe going, right?
The voice will make it. Like, the voice.
Whatever it is.
ASMR.
What did you say? Letters, AMSR.
AMSR. Like, that's how you do it. AMSR. No,
Mad lazy.
ASMR.
Very lazy with it.
To whomever is listening to this, is ASMR and we apologize.
AMSR.
No, ASMR.
What does that even stand for?
I don't know, but it's
ASMR.
sounds like a sanctuary.
All right, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, thank you for coming. I really want to say thank you for coming. This has definitely been an honor. So I want to start off something real light. I want you to go ahead and just tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh my God. Sure. Little.
As much as you want to share.
Oof. I'm a human being. First of all, first and foremost.
What's your pronouns?
If none.
Okay.
None. Well, what's that? If we're going there, I don't know. What is it? He?
Yeah,
That's a pronoun? Yeah. So yeah, he. I make music. I'm an artist. I design my clothes. I have my own clothing line called It Came Red. I also have my own language academy where I dive into language and how humans experience it. That's pretty much what I do while I teach people how to speak English and Spanish.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's start off with the teaching part. I want to know a little bit more about that. Go ahead. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what got you into teaching? Is it your passion? Is it something you see yourself doing for a long time?
Indeed, I have always done it. I think that teaching is a word I not necessarily relate with. I relate with sharing. Because I think that that's what you do when you're like considered a teacher. You share knowledge. So I like sharing my experiences, sharing my mistakes, my imagination. Like I'm a daydreamer, I would say, and so I'm always doing my best to share that with other people or just with myself, because I think that that's a very important thing. Like we might be very creative or we might have a lot of things to share, but we think that we don't have anyone to share them with, but we first have ourselves to share it with, right, or share them with. So it's like that's how I see it, and that's why I started even the clothing thing, the clothing line, and even my own music. I just wanted to just share like what I thought was good music, and the first audience I thought about was myself. I'm very objective when I do things, and people tend to call themselves like perfectionists. I am not one of them. At all.
I am. Right now I am, but go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not. I like doing things. Like that's the whole thing. That's the whole vibe with the It Came Red universe, I will call it now.
Okay.
It's all raw. I was thinking about calling it Came Raw, but it didn't sound like that cool at all. And I didn't like the word raw that much because it was too straightforward. And I thought about it and I was like, what else can relate with like raw things? And I thought about blood, but then I thought about love because I'm a very loving person. So I have always been guided by love. So I I was like, what's that thing that again resembles love the most? And I thought about red, and I was like, it came red. Oh yeah, that sounds cool. Like you were receiving a package. How did it come? Red. Exactly. So that's where the name came from. And the cool thing is that I love colors. Like I remember when I used to like study graphic design and stuff like that, or when I used to even just explore design from typography, from like even creating clothing and all that aspect. You start talking about color, but it came red sounded funny to me when I would put that like name on, let's say, green. And I have had people tell me that, like, why red? This is green. And I'm like, that's the point. That you start thinking about it, and like it's just a name. It doesn't have to be an actual color. It's regarding the symbology behind it, I would say. Yeah.
So when people ask you like, okay, well, why it came red, now you have to like go into this long backstory, the history of it. Do you enjoy, like you said you're an oversharer, you like sharing. So I'm going to assume that you like telling this story over and over again with people like, this is green, like this is great, but the name is it came red. You like telling this story?
Not really. Not a lot of people ask about it. Honestly, I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it right now, but it's not like I have people asking me that all the time. Why it came red? Actually, because I'm set the record straight. I'm from Guatemala, so.
Hold on. Let's get a shout out. Let's do a shout out for Guatemala.
Shout out to Guatemalan artists. Yeah, and Guatemalan people out there. Yeah, we are pretty creative people.
Yes, that is true.
So I have a lot of friends who, wow, they're amazing. Rappers, photographers, actors, models, directors, movie directors. What else? Chefs. Yeah, chefs. Wow, I know some pretty good chefs. Guatemalan chefs. And I'm vegan. I don't even eat their food, but I'm like, hey, you're good, bro.
It looks good.
Yeah. And so yeah, people from Guatemala will not ask about it that much because they don't really. Guatemala is not a country that actually is known for being able to speak English that much. To be honest, like there are a lot of people that know English, but not necessarily like speak the language actually or use it. Or that's where my like language academy business comes from. Also, like trying to allow people to embrace that and also learn more things from that language, because there's a lot to learn from English. Like there are a lot of sources that are not available in Spanish that people could learn from and even grow from, I would say. It's like the way I would consider myself being now. Like going back to the topic of being a teacher, I'm more of a guide. And not to sound pretentious, but yeah,
it's a guide. Did y'all hear that, ladies and gentlemen? It sounds like a spirit guide, like your guru into
language,
life, or into language in your case. But tying it back to teaching, like back to the original question. So, with the teaching of English, let's start with this. How did you even learn English? Were you born into a bilingual house, or like how? What's the story behind that?
Not at all. I think that in going into the psychology of things, I've been able to understand now that language is something that all of us are able to learn about, and we can expand the way we communicate with one another. However, in my case, I have found it very easy. I'm a self-taught on a lot of things, like design, music, and it all started with language, with English in particular. I grew up in a house where like my family didn't speak English. Only my uncle and I wouldn't share that much with him actually, but he he used to live in Canada for a while, and he brought some pretty cool VHS um, back home, and I remember growing up watching Ace Ventura and Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Jumanji, and all those movies. Also, what was another movie? I grew up watching Disney movies as well, like Bambi, not knowing what they were talking about or anything.
I took it back.
Yeah, just crying because like I didn't. I was not even aware. Like I remember watching this movie for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, someone died. Who was that person?" And I, because I didn't know the language, I was like, "Oh, I didn't know it was his mom." I was like, "Oh my god!" I learned that later, and so that's how I started with English, like exposing myself to it without even knowing what I was actually doing or listening to exactly. So I started understanding that language is a matter of survival. Therefore, if you experience it, you will have to learn it because you think you need it in order for you to survive.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I feel like living here in Latin America, I feel like knowing Spanish is very imperative. Like, when I go to the store, I need to be able to ask for my eggs, you know? Or I need to be able to ask for just things that I need when I go to Walmart. And so I think I agree with you 100% on that one. That is very imperative that language, no matter what it is, it needs to be learned and I don't know, felt. Pause. Are you hearing like a in and out? Like sometimes my headphones are like my voice can sound. You're not hearing that on your end?
No.
It's just yours is just clear because I hear my audio going. Oh, now it's real. Yeah, that's just.
Is it better?
It's weird. I don't know. It sounds like it's underwater, then it's not underwater. Okay. Let's just continue. I just hope if the file is not patchy on my side because I hear it going in and out. Yeah, but okay. Moving on.
I hear you more. I hear my voice more.
Maybe I should talk loud.
Maybe you should get closer. Closer to the mic. More.
Oh, my Janet Jackson.
More.
Oh, my
More.
Janet Jackson.
I think you're good.
You know, I'm very soft spoken, so it's like okay. But okay. All right, I'd be louder. Okay. So back to what you were saying about language being imperative and it's being important for essential for your survival. So yes, I do agree with you 100% on that. Let's move away from the teaching part to go on to exactly how we met.
Oof.
How did we meet?
How did we? Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot. I really have a patchy memory.
It's so do I.
Was it when I went to to the casting? Was it?
Yes. No, okay. I seen you there. I was like, oh, that cool guy with all the tattoos, right? Then it went on to I saw you on Instagram. And that's when I made first contact.
Oh, true. But it first started with us.
You at the casting,
with seeing each other, and I was like, I saw you, and I was like, oh, cool guy, and I remember I had green hair.
Yes.
Not anymore.
You were very confident in your casting too. I was like, this dude with all his tattoos on his face at that too, like came in here with like this confidence, energy, like, oh man, I got this. I'm just like, who's this, bro? Who man's is this? So it's just interesting to see now that like we're here, you know, and people who don't know, this is my model mate, meaning that we are both part of the same modeling agency. Iseta, what's up, Israel? Anyway, yeah, so matter of fact, let's give a round of applause for that. And plus, I'm like really pressing these buttons.
Yes.
Shout out.
Shout out to Iseta.
Okay.
That's the name. It's not IZ.
It's not IZ, it's
Iseta.
Iseta. So yeah, I'm thinking the same. Okay, so I met you at the casting, and then we started becoming friends in real life because we're friends in real life. And so now go ahead and tell me about your music,
Oh, sure.
the artist part of it all.
The artist part is all artistry in life. I make music. I have my own project called 8K in Red as well. That's why I was saying like it's a whole universe now. Like clothes, modeling. I modeled with that same name pretty much, right? And I made music. So I put out my first song back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually put that song out after it premiered on this fashion show in Guatemala, the Mercedes Guatemala fashion show. Yeah.
Wait, Guatemala Fashion Week last year?
What?
The Fashion Week last week?
No,
last
it
year?
was in 2018.
Oh,
We
wasn't
didn't
here.
like you were not
I
even
wasn't here.
You weren't even here. Yeah. No, I did this for another designer called Alexander Ayala,
Okay. Shout out to him.
and it was pretty awesome because I was supposed to release that song before and I never did, and he listened to it because he asked me, like, he knew that I was a musician, and he asked me like, hey, do you have a song or anything I could use? And then I showed him some of my songs that I hadn't even put out yet.
So meeting her was by like kind of like by chance.
Yeah, everything happens like that in my life. Everything is like that.
Okay.
Like, I'm used to uncertainty because everything happens like this. It's like my music happened the same way. I like love, but I also like to romanticize it, like heartbreak and stuff like that. Yeah, because it talks about being attached to an idea. It talks about or someone being attached to like love in particular as well. So I do like that whole sense of it, and I like falling for someone in a way, like, or really liking someone and then just moving away from her, because not because I'm gonna do that. I'm not a toxic guy, but eventually it happens. Like, you move away from people, or they move away from you because of like their life, journey. So the first song I put out is called Blue Heart, and it was because of this girl, right? It's always like about a girl, right? And I didn't know I was capable of, like, I was trying to find my own sound. I was trying to find like what I wanted to say, and Blue Heart was kind of the catalyst of that. And then it just started flowing to the point where I don't like putting out a lot of songs all the time. Not only because it's expensive, especially if you're a free agent like me, an independent artist. So I started putting out music. I put out two songs back in 2018, 2019, and then I stopped, and I put out 3 new songs. Was it this year? Yeah, it was this year. And I'm the kind of guy who will like sit on something for years and listen to it, and if I still like it 3 years after, I'll put it out. If I don't, I don't put it out. I don't care. I don't care.
So it's safe to say that you probably have a vault of music just like you're sitting on.
Yes.
But are these songs already like mixed and mastered, or no?
8 of them, yes.
So are you gonna drop like another EP?
I don't, that's the thing. I am not the kind of guy who will call something. I call it a collection of music. And I know it sounds pretentious and stuff, but it's just that I am done. I have always hated labels, and it comes with language as well. Like language is always about like labeling things,
Right.
labeling like this thing is called this way, and like everyone should call it this way. And it's okay, I get it. It's about a matter of understanding what reality is, and like when using even your imagination to shape it in
Right.
the end, right? But when it comes to music, I don't like calling, let's say, a mix of songs an album if I don't feel like it, or an EP, just because, yeah, extended play, I get it. It's just like 5 songs or so. But in my case, I'm like, no, I just have 8 songs here. And here are 8 songs.
Okay, so no, that's all fine and dandy. But I mean, since you are an independent artist, and are you looking to get signed? If you were to get signed,
I'm not looking for it,
would you
but
be open to that idea?
I would say I'm totally open for it.
So then you know words would be very important, because your contract will say we need such amount of albums.
That's the
So
thing.
would you be okay with labels then, because this is
On
your
paper.
job. Like
Yeah.
this is your paper.
Yeah.
But as of right now, you being a free spirit, like you're okay with just like here's 8 songs. This is not an EP or album. This is just 8 songs.
Of course, no. People will call them what they want, and
But I'm
they're
just saying,
entitled.
with you, like, would that make you feel more comfortable, because you don't like labels in that sense? But would it make you feel comfortable if there was a contract saying, "Look, we need 6 albums from you, so that's 16 songs."
Yeah.
You would definitely debut as like this. This is an album. This is an EP. Okay. I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure.
and of course, because I would say it's always important to embrace language as a share thing.
Right.
It's not like, oh, I'm a dictator and what I like this way, I call it this way. You should call it this way. But I don't see it that way. So if labels or if anyone wants to see a collection of songs as an EP, as an album, let them call it whatever they want. They can call my music, like, I don't label my music on genre. You know, what I do is I make music the way I want to, and if people want to call it, oh, this sounds like what's something
Like
I've been,
indie pop.
yeah, I also have my music, like my music has been related to specific bands, or oh my god,
I would classify your music genre to be more indie pop. Like the one I liked was the Take Care.
what colorful takes?
That one. I don't know why you say Take Care. I'm thinking of Drake. Colorful Takes. Yes, Colorful Takes. And when you really went to that little high note, I told you this before. Like I really was like,
Oh, like when I keep
yeah,
it,
and I'm just like,
it's like,
remember I called you and I was like, how are you like doing this with one note, like one breath? Guys, you gotta hear the song. It's really unique. It's really good, and he does this one part where like he's just holding this note forever, and I'm like, okay, when it's gonna break, when it's gonna break, when it's gonna break, and he does it.
Yeah.
So I really like that one, and it gives me very much indie pop. And the reason why I say indie is because you're not signed, but the genre is very indie pop. It's very good. It's very good.
Thank you so much. I love making music. For me, it's like I always think about as if I'm making a movie soundtrack. Like that's
That's a good way to think about it. I never thought about it.
because I like the sounds, and that's why I don't sing that much. Like I sing, but I'm not the kind of artist who will have a lot to say in a song, because I don't believe I should be saying that much. I'm already a pretty big talker. Like I can talk for hours. But on music, I like to be quite the opposite. I like to just embrace the fact that simplicity will always be there, and it will always be like the one thing I will go back to in each song. Simplicity. And that's actually really hard, and it's pretty it's pretty hard to accomplish being simple.
So, like you said, you don't do a lot of singing, but I heard singing. So what I'm saying is, so you're not a rapper.
No.
You sing, but you wouldn't call yourself a singer.
Maybe yeah, of
So
course.
how would you describe to the audience? How would you
Oh my god.
what do? Do you just play instruments? Like I'm trying to paint a vivid picture so they can understand.
Of course, I sing. I'm a
Okay.
singer songwriter. Yes.
But when you say you do things like simplicity, like to do things simple, does that mean you don't have a lot of words, or you're just humming, or
No, it's
Like,
like,
what can they expect from your
what people can expect from my music is simplicity when it comes to expressing words in particular. But because I like people being able to use their imagination, so they can adapt what I'm saying to whatever they're actually going through, or maybe what they. I want people to build their own picture in their heads based on my music.
got it?
So it's like colorful takes, you know. Who am I to judge?
That makes sense.
You know,
That makes
because that's the beginning of the song itself, like, right? Who am I to judge?
sense. It makes-
Messy hair, messy life.
Yep.
It's all to blame my lazy mind. Like, people can relate to that and be like, of course.
Do you ever feel like too vulnerable in your music?
Of course, yes. I
Do you
even
feel. I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you feel? Let me reword it. Do you have fear to put out your art and be vulnerable?
Yeah, always. It's just that that's the thing. When you fear, and let's go with that, right? And in language, fear is the opposite to love. And I think that when I fear something, it's because I am actually aware of the fact that is 100% me. So it gets scary because it's out there.
Right.
Forever.
Right.
The internet is forever.
Yes.
This is gonna be out
This
forever.
is why you gotta be careful what you post online.
Yeah, I actually, that's the thing. I don't double think that much anymore. I used to. I do that still with love in particular, like like with girls. But I don't do that with my art. What I do is I take time. I'm very patient. So I take time with it. I sit on it. I watch it, observe it. I digest it, and then I decide if I wanna consume it. So I'm the first consumer. Like that's me. I'm like whatever. Like this hoodie right here. Like what I draw on bags and whatever I'm designing for my next drop of clothing. It's me digesting it first and be like, I would wear that.
So, what would you say is the song that you was like your most vulnerable and you just really was like, what song is that?
Oh, it's not out yet. But yes, I have that song. I have that song. And for me, it's the classic. It's a classic. It's a instant classic.
Okay.
It's called Sorry I Ate the Pudding.
Very unique name.
Yeah. It's just that I always put weird names to songs, like or just names that are not particularly something. I don't want to be like, oh, if you know the title of the song, you know what the song is about. Not really. I have a song called Ayote.
Do you know when the date for Sorry I Ate the Pudding is coming out so we can expect it?
Hopefully before the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is your most vulnerable.
I would say yes.
Okay, so what song that is out that you would say is vulnerable?
All of them.
All of them.
However, if we
Okay,
scale,
how about
if we
the
scale them-
hardest one to write because it's not this one, but probably the next one, next best thing. Like the hardest to write and say, yo, maybe I'm giving them a little too much. Like they're not ready for this, but you hit it out anyway.
Oh, colorful takes.
My favorite.
Yeah, colorful takes, and also like the second place will be for Blue Heart.
So she really did some damage, huh?
I would say no. She taught me a lot,
Did she
and
break
that's
your
the
heart?
thing. No, it was me understanding that. Again, Blue Heart for me, the name of it itself, it will be related to someone that's cold-hearted.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
And I'm glad, because she was cold-hearted, but I enjoyed it, and that's the thing. And I saw things in me that I was probably not aware of before, and yeah, and that song has a line, if I'm not mistaken. Tend to forget my own words. It says, "Don't be scared if I don't be scared if I call you crying." Because it continues, right? But it's like, it's usually men are like portrayed in music like powerful beings or unbreakable.
Real toxic masculinity-ish. Machismo. Yeah, I know.
And I am the opposite, and I have always been the opposite, and I've been told by women that, oh, you're weird. Like, straight up, you're weird. You're not like most men. Are you gay? And I'm like, no, it's not bad being gay either. However, I'm not, and they think that they will only see that in people who are more on the feminine side. And yes, I consider myself a very feminine guy, and nevertheless, I'm straight.
Right.
And I also say that on another song called "Praise," one of the new ones. I'm forgetting the lyrics again, but it's related to men. Like, I could paint my nails, but I'm not a girl. I might, and it also says, I might not be the man you wanted to fail, because usually that's what, in my case, that's what I've been expected to do, to fail, to show that machismo and be like,
right,
break someone's heart because I cheated, because my masculinity, full of lust, I couldn't bear it. No, I'm quite the opposite. I'm the kind of guy who will be like, hey, I'm gonna ask you, can I kiss you? I'm that kind of guy. I'm gonna be the kind of guy who will ask first.
Isn't it weird? Okay, so yeah, because you don't want to get me too. So
that was even before that, but yes, now for sure.
I feel like it's very weird that, like, nowadays, it's, if you're not machismo, or you're not what the general population is based on your geographical area, then you're othered, But I mean, you like a rocker. I feel like painting your nails is part of your aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like Machine Gun Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, why would they? But here, I understand here in Guate is different. Well, a lot different. So maybe that conversation, not a lot of people here are probably open-minded and used to seeing that. But one thing I learned here is that people here love different. So it's hard to believe that you're you come off as a sweet guy and respectful to women, and that they will think you're weird. Like, isn't this what women preach? Not to get into this banter, but they want a guy that's in touch with the feminine side so they can express themselves and say, this is how I feel. I don't like this. Communication is key. But it seemed like it's the opposite here. Like, women want you to, they expect you to cheat. That's how you prove your machismo-ness.
Exactly.
Cheat on me, abuse me, call me names, toxic love,
For sure. And I would say this. Those are cultural dimensions. Why? Because people tend to think that they know what they like or what they want, but it's going to be hard to know that until you actually are going through that.
Right.
So
that is true. Amen, bro. I testify that way.
Yeah. There's a saying I'm kind of against. Right now, I heard it the other day, and
hold on. Okay. Technical difficulties. Okay. Anyway, where did we leave off at?
Don't remember.
Okay, we was talking about the machismo-ness, the culture, how women appreciate that.
I remember.
Right.
People tend to think that for some reason that they already know what they want, And I don't want to generalize, and forgive me if I'm offending anyone. But in reality, what happens is that we don't know what we want until we encounter it. So with everything related to like what I do for a living, right? With my academy and with music and with art and clothes, it's what you see is what you get. However, we live in a society where we don't necessarily like that,
right.
And it's like, and we question it, like in a way, like, is this real? Because
right.
usually people are fake, or not fake. That people tend to have layers, too many layers,
right?
And it's totally fine to have layers. Still, maybe what you see, what you get, but there are layers
right.
to that,
right?
And that's the beauty of it. I would say. It's like when we have conversations and I have someone like coming at me and says like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Do you really want to know?"
So you take everything literal, like
yeah.
How you doing? Like, but you know, like, well, obviously you teach language, so you should know when someone's like, "How you doing?" They really don't want your whole story. But you take it as if you really having a bad day, you're like, "Really? Let me tell you how my day's going."
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Yeah, because we should be ready to do that. That's the whole point of language. Communication, empathy, creativity, impact. That's what I do with the academy.
Are you in a relationship currently?
No, I have, and that's the thing.
With all of this that you're saying, it's like you sound like the perfect guy to have this relationship, to communicate effectively, build this team with this woman. But where is she? Where's she at?
Afraid of it,
right? We all said we want things, and then when we finally get the things that we think that we wanted, we either feel like we don't deserve them. Well, in my case, speaking for myself, I feel like sometimes I don't deserve it, and then I self-sabotage, or the people kind of take the things and realize, oh, I'm not ready for it.
Coherence. That's a big aspect of reality. Like, and let's go beyond that. It's not only about like relationships, women, and like anything that people say. Oh, I want to be rich. Okay, what if I give you all the money you want right now?
Right.
Oh no, I'm not ready. Oh, or I don't know. Like you get scared. Are you enough? Are you ready to handle that? And that's why we don't live the reality we want to be in. Because in our head, we're still not ready.
Right.
So what do we have to do first? In order for us to live the reality we want to live in,
you gotta be ready.
But you have to understand it. Like that's the empathy part. Like you have to observe it. You have to observe how do you feel with it?
Right. Like
embrace that feeling. Be like, okay, this makes me feel this way, and it's good. This is what I want. Okay. Now that I'm embracing this feeling, like the creativity part will be like, how do I make it happen? How do I keep it? How do I sustain that lifestyle? Or how do I even hold onto that reality? And the final aspect, the impact will be that, like that manifesting itself on like in any way you want to.
Right.
It could be even. I always have this like micro macro kind of thing.
At a micro and micro macro. Yeah. The big goals, little goals.
Yeah, the micro and then the macro.
You have to build up all those little ones because we always want the big one, but we have to do the little ones first because the little ones lead up to the big ones.
Exactly.
You know who was really good for this? Lisa Nichols, motivational speaker. My favorite. Shout out to her. I'll take one of her classes. But she talks about the micro, macro goals and all of that jazz. And it is true. It is definitely true. And to kind of tie it back to what you were saying, I feel like Oprah said it best. She was like, I don't believe in luck. She was like, I believe in when preparation means opportunity. That's luck. So it's kind of like, the little goals. Like we saying we want things, and then when we get it, we're not either ready for it, we don't appreciate it, we can't empathize with the person, or we just kind of self-sabotage. Versus if you've been preparing, doing the work, the internal work or the outer work, whatever, then when it comes, you're ready to deal with that. So, yeah.
Even Jordan Peterson says that. Like Jordan Peterson, I've been listening to him a lot these days, and he says, if you can be the partner you want in your life, That's the whole thing. Like, just be that partner. Like, be that person who you want to be with. And in the moment you start realizing that that's the key with everything, it's like, okay, you want to be a successful businessman, businesswoman,
Right.
business person. Already live it. Embrace it. Like, have that. I actually start noticing that in the this cartoon show called Recess.
Legendary.
I love it.
Legendary. Wow, you took it back.
So Recess actually showed us that they were like, you will have society. That was a society. That was literally society right there. And we're like, oh, okay, they're kids embracing their like what they want to be, you know. And we see that everywhere. We see that in our lives. We see that within ourselves. Like when we understand that, like, that whole inner kid is pretty I would say,
Let's see.
no, I'm
Desperate for attention.
it's trending. That's the word.
The inner child.
The inner child conversation is super trendy, and I'm not going against it. I'm actually coming at it from a different standpoint rather than the new age standpoint.
Right.
Like that we all say, like, the inner kid, you have to take care of it. Yeah, of course. But first, you have to understand that you have to embrace the traumas. You have to understand that those memories that you created within your childhood, or like that whole journey you have actually gone through your life, you actually are creating traumas on that inner kid, even you being an adult right now, because we never stop being that. We are, and that's when you start understanding even time, and like, we're going deep.
Yeah.
Because
I saw something else on TikTok was talking about, like, the girl was turning like 31, 32. She's like, I'm not 32. I'm still 19. I'm just another year. I don't know how she phrased it, but it goes into that. She's like, no, I'm still this teenager. I'm still all them other years before me. I'm just this new one now.
exactly.
And I'm just like, wow.
You start understanding time. You start understanding, like, yeah. Okay, live the moment. The moment is right now. There's
Right.
no other real thing that now. The past is only what you think of it, because memory psychology has actually taught us that memories are not that reliable. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know this, your memories are not that reliable. You can think, oh, I ate, I don't know, strawberry jelly sandwich yesterday, and maybe it was pineapple. Who knows? Maybe you made a mistake. Embrace it. It's okay, because living the past will only allow us to keep traumas that are not allowing us to live the moment. And that's the thing. So if you understand the past, if you understand like what your like that inner kid was living in that moment, and you let it go, but you learn from it, you keep what you need, you will be able to actually create the reality you want to be living right now.
Okay. Well, guys, we said a mouthful, so we're going to go ahead and hear from our sponsors.
Eat Game Red. We're not that serious, but we are cool. Do you like this shirt? Do you like this hoodie? You cannot have it anymore because we only make limited drops. If you ever want anything from Eat Game Red, be ready for it. because you will only see it once. Eat Game Red, your brand.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Blavk Audacity. I am your host, Angel Aguilera, here with my friend Randy.
What? Hey, just we don't have that sound.
Wah, wah,
We
wah,
wish.
wah.
No, I'm gonna use my favorite sound. This is me. There you go. That's me.
That kills me every time.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we are back, and now we're moving on to the next segment. This part of the segment, I want to talk a little bit more about actually our job, what we do, because how do I say this? I want to talk about what we do as our jobs here. And I noticed the day of the casting, it was about 300 something people showed up. And I was happy to be a part of that with Israel and Bernard as well. And you know,
Everyone
sponsors.
involved.
Yes, all of them. It was my first time to witness something like that, to be a part of something like that. And for you, the day you got signed, tell me about that process.
I was just told, hey, don't worry, just get in right now. You're already with us.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you did your, before you even left, you knew.
No, before I even did the casting, I was just waiting in line, and I was told, hey, come in right now. And yeah, I pretty much went ahead of everyone else, and I was told that I was part of it already and that I would just do my thing, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, thank you very much. I felt really appreciated, I would say. Nevertheless, you like the industry, right? I might be seen as a good prospect, I would say, for modeling and stuff like that. Nevertheless, it's not what the industry is looking for here in Guatemala. Well, yeah, in Guatemala.
How has your experience been?
None.
I mean, it's a slow start. You only been signed for what, a couple months?
No, it's been a while. 6 months.
But everything starts off slow.
Oh, of course. No, I'm not saying no one wants to assign me or anything. Nah, but I do see this I'm not the usual
Candidate.
candidate for modeling here in Guatemala. Even though I'm always told oh hey, your style and whatever. But then when it comes to the real thing and getting a job at that, it's non-existent. Not because of lack of trying. I'm gonna say that.
Do you think that there isn't a market for your aesthetic here, or what do you think is the reason for the lack of opportunity?
Again, going back to language and going back to people thinking that they know what they want, when they face it, they don't know what it is. Pretty much is that. Again, that. They outside of it, they will be like, oh hey, yeah, dude, you will look good on this, or your clothes is this cool, and your style and whatever. And then when the real thing comes into place, where let's say you have to hire me, nah, doesn't happen. And I get it, right? I'm not even bitter about it, but I'm aware now. I am more aware of it than I thought I was before, and it actually makes it more interesting, because it makes me think about how, again, the 3 principles again that I go by. I stand by those 3 principles: empathy, creativity, and impact. And I am how can I be creative? There you go. Sorry, my throat is giving up. But yeah, it's about being aware of it, being creative to see, oh, what else can I do to really be part of something. And this is where when I started relating to a lot of different artists and musicians and like people in general that want to be part of something, but that something does not embrace them, and they create their own thing. And I think that's something that I'm going through right now in a very, very positive way, because that's how I found myself, like doing my own clothing line and creating my own music and putting it out there without anyone else approval.
So you carved your own lane.
Yeah.
You had to carve your own lane.
Yeah.
I feel kind of the same way. Like when it comes to like opportunities here in Guate. I was blessed, lucky to have some work here, but I feel like I have to go out and carve my own lane because there isn't a big market for my particular aesthetic. And so I thought that going back to New York City and doing these big things will like kind of show people here like, okay, how to market someone like me. And then I'm just like, oh, okay, still all right, I'm giving y'all the blueprint and y'all still don't know what to do with it.
But that's the thing, is it makes you be the head of something. And people have this saying that a leader is not may necessarily is chosen, like you choose to be. And a creative the same way, I would say. It's like, if you want to see something happen and you are not experiencing it right now, make it happen. And what else? Are you gonna complain like, oh, no one wants me? Nah. Okay. If no one wants you, create something. Create the platform.
You sure you don't want to run and get some water from Pan Express?
It's okay.
So, do you see yourself going far here in the modeling here if you are to stay here? Or do you think you would get further with your music here than your modeling career?
Anywhere. Anywhere, nowhere, I would say. I would say when it comes to modeling and...
Okay. So, just to piggyback off what you said.
Yeah, we have to be dramatic. Yeah, I was being dramatic with my voice. So if people know, I was not dying. It was just my throat.
He's sick, everybody, and he still got up today to come join me, and I'm really, 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 really grateful. Thank you so much. Give us a hand clap for that, for showing up.
No, this.
Okay. That's him. That's what he likes.
Yes.
So thank you so much for showing up and joining us again.
Of course.
So to go ahead and continue on piggyback off what you said, what I said, like creating your own lanes here in this country, because there's not many opportunities awarded to us. Do you think now, if you knew the right people, then it wouldn't really matter your aesthetic?
Nah, I don't think about the past. I don't think about imaginary situations.
No, like it's what you know, not who you know, like that saying. That's what I meant.
If I knew someone, nah, not really. I think that we live what we live, and I really stand by the fact that things the way they are right now are just building my character, and I embrace that. It's just that that's the thing. I'm not the kind of guy who wants to be famous. I don't care. I really just want to do things. If I make them on a small community, just for 10 people, I'll be happy. I'll die happy doing it.
So what are your aspirations then? If you don't want to be famous, like me, I want to be rich. If I don't have to be famous, if I can do the rich part without the fame part,
oh, you can.
Then cool.
There are.
Yeah, but I feel like me and a model, that's kind of like unrealistic. Like that kind of comes with the territory.
Totally.
Like I actually enjoy the hobby of it, and now that it pays my bills, so it's like okay, I actually like it as a job, as a craft, but I don't like the unsolicited attention.
Of course.
Like that part, I'm still getting accustomed to, and which is why I curate my Instagram and stuff, like we spoke before, very private, you know, and because I don't like mean comments. But now I'm gonna get it saying it out loud. But yeah, I just, you know, I'm sensitive about my craft, so I always feel like I have to outdo myself.
That's the thing.
And give it something, do something big, because I know I lack on social media where I don't go on live every day, or I've never done a live in my life. So I don't even know how to do that. But I don't go on and show you what I'm eating every day. I just give you my craft because I feel like my followers count follows me now because of the art I put out.
Of course.
And they know like, okay, Angel's not going to be here for like 3 weeks. But when he come back, it's going to be something.
It's going to be lit.
It's going to be lit like this, you know? So this is the outdo my New York shit. So it's like, all right, I'm building another avenue for myself to go into.
Of course.
And so I feel like with your music and now with the modeling, back to the question. Like you said, you don't want to be rich or famous. I want to be rich.
I never said that. I only said I don't want to be famous. And not wanting to be something does not mean I cannot take it. And here comes the interesting part. Mm-hmm. Because not wanting to be something does not mean that I will eventually not become well known. That's different. Because fame is something that lasts a second.
15 minutes.
Reputation, or I will say, what people know you for. That's what I want.
Yes.
That's my stripe. That's my thing. That the signature. People know, like people who truly know me, are like, oh yeah, Randy's like this. They know I'm not looking for attention.
Right.
But attention like finds me because of what I am. I'm honest.
I mean, you
earnest.
do have tattoos on your face.
Oh, by the way, yeah, people like, yeah, if you're not watching this, like the video, the video version of this podcast, I am fully tattooed. I have the word empathy in Spanish tattooed on my forehead. And
so maybe that might be another reason why you get a lot of attention too. But
yeah.
it's very unique. It's very unique looking, and it aesthetically is pleasing to the eye. Like you look like a guy that would have face tattoos.
Yeah, and if I'm gonna get him, and if I'm like, oh no, why are these people looking at me? Like I really, why did I get him in the first place? I'm the kind of guy who I'm not even aware if there's like people like watching me. I just really could care less about that.
Right.
What I care about is, let's say, watching someone loving one of my hoodies. I'm like, great. Make the hoodie famous. Who made it? Okay, cool. If you want to. The book is not...
That's not the society we live in. Though.
Oh, no, I know, of course. But it's not... the thing is that society we live in right now is what we think of it as being. And what does that mean? That we shape reality. So our own language will shape what we... Remember what we were like... spoiler alert, everyone, like, we were having a kind of the big conversation like this during lunchtime. And remember what I told you. Look around you, right? And that'll be like who you are and like what you are vibing on, you know, like what frequency you're on. That's pretty much what you are attracting. So if I say that my reality of society will be that which embraces uniqueness, artistry, vulnerability, honesty, and in the end, love, that's the reality I'm gonna surround myself with. Not because I'm just looking for it, but because people that think the same way are gonna be around me. And it's like the same way with my academy, with my language academy. I'm not promoting it all the time or anything. I upload videos on Instagram every day in Spanish to talk about different topics, but I don't talk about my academy on every single video. But I just open dialogue, you know. And that's the thing. I therefore attract that, like, those people to my academy. I don't tell them, hey, you should be here. Oh, you should be there. People ask me, can I be part of it? That's different. Can I use your product as the sponsor? the invitation to show who you are is more important than the aspect of you putting yourself out there so people can see you.
Right.
In the end, what do we want? Love, not attention, love. People loving what we are, people loving what we do, people loving what we think. Of course, that comes with us loving it first.
Right.
And in the end, I'm glad I made this pause, with my throat. Thank you, throat. But we love things, I could be like, oh my God, my throat is giving up on me. Why this day? Why today? No, I love it because in the end, it makes me think. It makes me be patient.
You push through. And again, thank you for coming. And I'm glad that you went in there to get your remedies.
Oh my God, I got my tea. Yeah, I used to be a guy who would drink and stuff like that. I remember when I first started playing music with a cover band, when I was like 16, 17, I was already drinking whiskey.
Ooh,
and I know, not a good thing, everyone. At least not for me. And I remember I did a 3-hour show with us, like a break in between of a lot of covers, and they gave me scotch for my throat. And I used that for a while. I know. And I was 16, 17, something like that. And it truly amazed me because I remember that day vividly because I had my arm was broken.
Broken, like broke?
Yeah, broke.
Oh.
Oh, well, actually it was my hand. Because I punched the wall.
Way to channel your energy.
Yeah, I know. I used to be a totally different person before. I had a lot of anger, but not anger. It was resentment towards lack of understanding, lack of, I would say, being able to show my love. That's the thing, that's me. That's me. I'm love, and the thing is that when I was younger, when I was growing up. I'm turning 30 now, and in 2 weeks. And
happy birthday!
Thank you so much. And I remember being so angry, and not because I was full of hate or anything, but because I was full of love. And that's the thing. If you're not aware of something, it would eventually come out as whatever. And if you become aware of your feelings, if you become aware of your creativity, that will be the impact. And that was the beginning of my I keep saying the 3 principles, but we'll die with those principles. I'll live by them. I will die by them. And I didn't read them on a book or anything. Anyone, please look them up and show me where empathy, creativity, and impact are shown as the 3 principles for human interaction. And I will thank you forever. Because I found them creating something on my own and acknowledging reality. And that's the thing. When I acknowledged that, I completely did a 180, And that's when my creativity started blooming. And I like that word, blooming, Blooming. Exactly. So that's the fun part of it. That's the fun part of life. Understanding the struggles, understanding the reality of what it is to be in order for you to embrace it, channel it, be creative with it, and eventually create an impact within yourself. Therefore, it will be reflected towards the outsider, the outside world.
Okay.
I like going deep. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, on a lighter note, how's your throat feeling?
Good.
Better now.
A bit. It's getting there. I'm drinking tea. And
Is it soothed enough?
It is.
Ready for the smoke?
Yeah, sure. Boom.
I wish we had a.
What do we have? What can relate to that?
The hand clapping. That's what I think of.
Are you ready for the smoke? And I'm gonna go like random here. Let's see what we get. Are you?
Are you ready for the smoke?
Oh no, that's not it. Sorry guys, they're laughing at us. Maybe not. Sorry. Am I ready? I think I am.
Think you're ready? All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's just go jump into it. Do you think finding friends in the industry is hard? Genuine friends, yes or no?
No,
Why not?
because what you attract is what you are, and if you are real, if you're honest, loving, you will attract that same kind of people, or those who will show you more of that, which you can be.
Are you single or taken?
I'm single.
Do you like boys or girls?
Girls.
Have you ever been heartbroken?
Yes.
By who?
By women.
What's her name?
I have a few.
What's their name?
Ooh, I've been.
Say my name. Say her name.
Say my name. Say my name. There have been ones, but I
Who broke your heart the most?
Me.
This is the part of the segment where I get real like
Myself.
Yourself?
I broke my own heart.
Okay.
Why? Because of expecting something more from someone who was not ready to give it to me.
what's the girl's name that you wrote blue face for?
That I what?
Wrote blue heart for.
Oh, her name is Chris Liani.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it right there. We're not gonna go too deep. We're not gonna drag her.
Oh no, and that's the good thing. You know, eventually it was. I was aware of those situations, and I don't speak like to her anymore. Not because I don't want to. I really don't. It's not there. Maybe I'll do it today, but it showed me a lot. I'm very thankful to those women who have shown me that maybe what I'm giving it's just too much.
Too much. Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm very intense. I'm a Scorpio. Nah. And yeah, Scorpio moon, Scorpio sun, whatever you want to think about it.
Okay. All right. Your moon rising. What's your most embarrassing moment that you feel comfortable sharing?
Oh my God. Oh, with or without anyone? Because you can be embarrassed by being alone anyways. Like you could have an embarrassing moment alone. Have you ever thought about it?
Let me. One thing come to mind. I'm just gonna ask the question. Have you ever laughed during sex?
Oh yeah, always.
Was that embarrassing?
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy like sex so much. It's just that I don't actually engage with it that much at all.
But you enjoy the act of
Oh
sex.
my God, I enjoy the moment. I enjoy making a woman like laugh and enjoy her body. And being aware of who she is, that to me is the best thing.
What's your favorite position?
Oof. I don't know what the name of it is, but picture this, everyone. It's when it's like missionary, but you're not a missionary, and she's like, her legs are around your waist,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, her hips are bit up, you know, and that's how I roll.
So she's like riding you.
No,
Without
she's legged.
Oh, so she's laying on her back and she's.
Oh yeah, and I ask her like just like put your hips a bit up, like just grab my hips with your legs, like really do that, and I go with it.
Oh,
It's my favorite one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I might be very loving and all that, but I get
So describe, if you can have your perfect woman, describe what she look like.
Ooh, she would look like, or she would be
I
like.
want to know what her physical. She got big ass, big titties. Like,
Oh, I'm gonna say I don't know. I haven't met her yet. And the thing is, I like the physical side of women, but I am actually very, very, very attracted to women who know they're powerful. Because I know the. Oh, That's a huge win for me. Like, what is it called? When you get like aroused by, that'll be that.
That turns you on.
A turn on. There you go. That's the word, the phrase I was trying to find. That's a turn on. When someone even challenges what I say, because I don't like when someone in general, women, men, anyone, like I'll be like, "What do you want to do?" And you say, and they're like, "Okay," even if they don't want to, you know.
Right, you like a little bit of me too. I like a little bit of fight.
Yeah, and it's not even a fight. It's like a healthy argument towards necessities.
Well, I like a little bit of you have your own independence. Of you have your own mind.
Yeah.
Like, what you want for dinner? I want Chinese. Like, oh, okay. Don't say, well, whatever you want. I'm asking you for a reason because I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to always be the leader.
Or I want to know what you want, so maybe I want it too. Who knows?
Or we could just get both.
Both.
I'm a both type of guy.
You could buy something, and I could buy something else, and then we could share. Oh.
So
Switch.
We gotta move on. How many tattoos do you have?
I have no idea, but too many to count.
What's your favorite tattoo?
Probably my mom's year of birth. I have it on my belly.
That's beautiful.
It is, and she was beautiful. She was beautiful. Cheers to my mom.
Cheers.
To moms. Moms are the best.
Democrat, Republican.
None. Politics to me it's a reality show. Have you seen the latest? I'm not gonna talk that much about it, but yeah, it's like for me it's a reality show. Why? Because I don't believe that we should give someone, just one person, enough power towards anyone else. We should allow everyone to know how powerful each and every single one of us actually is. And then we can create, I'm not talking about a utopia, just for the record, but it just that's what I do with language, with my academy. I tell people like, hey, you can choose what you want to say. You don't have to say, hey, how are you? Just because people tell you, or society tells you, you have to start a conversation with that. Or you don't have to tell people I love you if you don't feel it. You don't have to be nice to someone because you are told to be nice. Feel it. Don't be fake. That's the worst kind of people. Honestly. Fake. Why? If you're angry, show you're angry. If you're disgusted by something, show it. Talk about it. Start that conversation. If you love something, say you love it. But it's all about the intensity of things, like really understanding feelings, really understanding thought and thoughts. And in the end, really understanding what you are showing them, like within verbal or non-verbal language. Yeah. So that's politics, right?
Well, because of your throat today, I'm gonna take it easy on the 21 fire rapid smoke question.
Oh, I want more, please. I can't keep going. I'm already on fire.
We don't have any more because of the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, time restraint. So, in conclusion, do you have anything you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, I want to say go listen to my music. It Came Red on Spotify, Apple Music.
Pick a camera.
YouTube Music. Pick your camera here.
And go ahead and give the information where to find you.
Yeah.
It's also going to be the link description down below too. So, go ahead.
All the social media. Well, yeah, It Came Red. Every platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, anything, any music platform you can like think about. That's me. I'm there. And Instagram, same. It Came Red. I put out clothes you may wanna choose to have, which is limited, and I don't like repeating things. Music, myself. I don't like that. So yeah, I hope you like it. I also have my language academy if you want to learn a bit more about the reality of things and how we can shape our reality based on the words we say, what we think, what we do. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure.
It's a good way to let people know that there are a lot of different types of conversations we can have even though topics may be quite relatable and common and sometimes very creative as well, this as you have been, and thank you very much. You can really get to know someone just based on the way they grab things that someone is actually telling them about and how they can show themselves. And just we can just talk about color gray, and I could just expand and talk 2 hours about color gray.
Right.
So that's the beauty. Thank you for the time, and thank you for having me. And it's been fun.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, folks, this has been the first edition of the Black Audacity. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Adrian Aguilera. See you next time.
Can we finish with this? Thank you, everyone.
Bye.